Celebrations on the pitch were just mental. I think a year's worth of knowing where we've been in 2016 and all that hard work we put in to turn this club around and ourselves and the team around to get back there and win the grand final just came out in us when that hooter went.
When you see Danny and Rob walking over with the trophy and they're getting ready to lift it with all us behind them and stuff like that, that were the best part of the day for me. And I think when we were walking around, I remember Cal tapping me on the shoulder and he said, "Oh, your mum and dad are over there." And we'd been through a pretty tough week as a family. We'd lost my grandma on the Wednesday before the final, so I'd had a quite a tough few days just before the game. And Cal tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Oh, your mum and dad are over there." So I remember just going over to them and giving them a massive hug. And they both had tears in their eyes and things like that, because it's been their dream to see me hopefully lift the trophy at Old Trafford. And from what we'd been through as a family the couple of days before, I think that it had made me grandma proud, and it was a massive proud moment for my family.
I really liked the way they turned the lights out and dim lights. It gave it this sort of NFL feel. It had this epic American football type feel to it, atmosphere.
So on the pitch, after the match, kind of taking it over to see my family and stuff, it was such a proud moment, I think, for me to see my family there, but also doing well for my parents, who obviously for the week before didn't think I'd make the final.
The celebrations for me, my favourite one's always Brian McDermott. It's always I mean, Brian McDermott is the most successful Leeds coach ever, and I know he's got an interesting external perception, and whatever you think of Brian McDermott, he in the lead up to the final, and in particular the semi-final, I think when he got interviewed on Sky and he started blubbering like a Disney princess, and this is a guy who's a Royal Marine Commando who's been to war, and he gives across that persona as well most weeks when he's stood there very tall and Sergeant Majorish, and he's not like that at all. His personality is a very deep human being, but the smile he has on his face, and it was almost like a childish one, like what kids do, just real innocent, and it just contrasts that pain that he puts himself through the majority of the season.
In front of the fans, that sort of class, I think they celebrate more than what we were doing. You end up walking around with a trophy and you see all the fans going absolutely mad and cheering and singing loads of songs and stuff like that, and it's great to be a part of the celebrations with them. They'll have been through the ups and downs with us throughout the year, what we'd been through, and to be everyone be lifting the trophy at the end towards the fans and them absolutely screaming and going mental, it were class. The
dressing room after the game was mental, to say the least. There's plenty of food just everywhere, like great grouse food just everywhere, just platted up for us, ready to go. And I don't think a bit of it got touched. Everyone just went straight for the beers, champagne. I think the first round didn't even get drunk. We were singing. Our song that we sing after every win, it just went off like a frog in a sock. Everyone was just jigging about and spraying Magsy down with the trophy.
We sing our song obviously, and I think Brian Mack coming in wanted to sing it again, mentioning him. He was crackers, and I remember you get some media coming in and talking, taking photographs, and lads all line up to have photographs with trophy. And there's loads of bottles of champagne, so alt media guys that come in to take photos, you just absolutely soak them through with all the champagne and cause them havoc.
So it was pretty much the same squad as 2016 that won the 2017 grand final, and that had all these ups and downs, admittedly, this year. But it's funny because I think I've mentioned before that we kind of developed this resilience, or this kind of built up process or learnt process to be able to make the tough decisions when we need to, and I think a lot of the boys learned that 2016 when we were struggling, and obviously how we turned that around in the back end in the middle eights. That's something special, and it's something where you've got to challenge yourself, and sometimes you get put in those situations unwillingly, but you've got to challenge yourself to be able to learn and build that process for the future. And I think that helped us this year with the belief and trust that we had with each other to be able to turn some stuff around and go and win those big games. And also we've got people like Danny Maguire, Rob Burrow and Jonesy and all these guys that have done it before. So it helps. That helps as well. And when you're in that situation, it's familiar, and that really does help to just get back on the horse and do it again.
I say to lads, what's the difference between winning and losing? About 70 text messages. It's amazing. So you pick your phone up and you've literally got 70, 75, 80 text messages, everybody going mad saying, oh, well done, well done. You've got to reply to all them, haven't you, son? Or in changing rooms, you start making your way through it. Thank you very much, by the way. Really appreciate them, though. And it's great. When you lose, you've probably got about 3, and 2 of them will be pre-game messages saying all the best. And one of them will say, what time we're meeting tomorrow, something like that.
We like to go back to Longbar. Well, we go back there after most games. So it was only meant for us to go back there after the grand final and you know, share that moment with them. We're very much about our supporters and this city, so to get back there and share that moment with them as well is quite special, and that's why we did that.
Rob Oates were introducing everyone through the room and stuff like that, and they were absolutely rammed in there. It were chocolate to get through to the other side, and you know, once all the interviews and stuff like that had been done, we were just enjoying everyone's company who were there, and you know, all the fans and the sponsors and that. So it were a great time to be there, going back to celebrate with them.
So we took the trophy to Ellen Road. Unfortunately, Leeds couldn't beat Reading, and they won the best performance. But you know, the highlight for us was at half time when we could parade the trophy. Did a full lap of the pitch, and obviously, you know, there's going to be some different fans in there, Cass fans, you know, Bradford fans and stuff like that. There's obviously Leeds United fans, but we got such a great reception.
I almost lost my mind. I became almost a part of the service crew. I thought about, I'm going to buy some Rockports and some Stone Island jumpers. But no, I remember walking up towards the back end opposite the Revy stand, and they were all singing All Leeds Out We, and my ears just went boom, back of my neck, and I was absolutely buzzing.
I dare say about 99% of the crowd was all for us, and that was just brilliant, you know, to get a reception like that at a football match where, you know, obviously the country's dominated by football, and to really embrace us and cheer us on as we took a lap carrying that Super League trophy was just brilliant.
It's massively important that fans get a foot with a trophy. You know, they pay their money to watch us week in, week out, and for us to be able to give something back like the grand final trophy, you know, it's special for them. And you know, while they'll, you know, obviously they'll get to see it for a short while, but I'm sure they'll appreciate the time that they'll get to spend and have a look at the trophy and get to touch it as well.
Looking at next season, there's obviously not been many targets or goals laid out. I think we've got to enjoy, you know, the success and rewards that we can achieve through the 2017, and when we come back into pre-season, I think that'll all be laid out, and it'll be interesting because obviously Rob and Danny are leaving, and you know, there's going to be some changes, but it's exciting. It's really exciting.
I thought we had a lot to build on this season, so for next season, I think we need to reinvent the wheel a bit. Not too much, but obviously we've got some key players leaving. We've got a couple of key players coming in, some great players too that will really benefit by. But it's about reinventing and continuing to get better and stronger, and you know, building from this year, and also remembering that 2016, learning from those mistakes we made in the past, remembering what it was like in 2016 when we come into the first week of pre-season and not have the likes of JP and Kylie and Kev there. We're not going to have Rob and Danny there this year, so we can really learn from the end of that season and take it in through to next year with this, which I personally believe will make us stronger again, because we're ready for it this time around. We know where what we've got to fix and what we've got to do to become better and stick together as a team, and you know, not get too ahead of ourselves because we're the reigning premiers, but just grow from it and be more dominant from it again. And hopefully, work to being champions of the world, because we've got that big game too.